Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two new stories for you. First one is from Eritrea. Election is unknown to Isas Savoki. Is it true that no elections are held in Eritrea? Election has been held in Eritrea. People have been elected, voting was very transparent, everything was very democratic. Details for you. Secondly, Amhara region, humanitarian disaster is engulfing the region. Uh, Amhara regional government has shared details of how much money is needed for reconstruction, for provision of food assistance to the people, for returning displaced people. Details for you. All that is because of the conflict. It's not related to drought or any other environmental issues, etc. It's because of the conflict. So, what happened? What is the detail shared by Amhara regional government? Let's start, viewers. Firstly, Eritrea, viewers. Eritrea is the only country in the Horn of Africa where a general election has not been held so far since its independence in 1993. So we'll have to no one can deny the fact that Eritrea is the only country in the Horn of Africa where an election has never been held on national level. But are elections held on local level, zonal level? Yes, elections are held on zonal level, local level. In central zone of Eritrea, election process has been seen. On the 25th of February till 23rd of March, local administrators, village coordinators are being elected. Voting is being held. And yesterday, Minister of Information of Eritrea shared details of the election. 10 administrators have been elected through balloting. 22 coordinators have been elected for a 3-year term. People were told that they should not have any sub-nationalist sentiments to cast while casting their votes. So people should not be chosen on the basis of their ethnicity, on the basis of other divisive factors which play a key role in politics in neighboring country, in Ethiopia. There was nothing ethnic about this election held in central zone. Similarly, other zones also elect their cabinet level, zonal level administrators. Elections are held. Process is very democratic. Public balloting is held. Then vote counting is very transparent. Nothing wrong with that. The question, viewers, is if Eritrea can show this type of democratic model of electing administrators on zonal level, on cabinet level, why can't it introduce a similar system to elect leaders on national level? I mean, it can have a national assembly. It can empower people to elect their representatives for the assembly. It can empower people to elect their president. Why is that democracy is introduced only on local level, zonal level, not on national level? Isn't it hypocrisy? Isn't it that the PFDJ, People's Front for Democracy and Justice, which is Eritrea's only political party and ruling party as well, does not really believe in democracy. When it comes to introducing democratic values, holding election at national level, it's a no-no for Eritrean government. If you remember a few years ago when Isaias Savoki was interviewed and a Western journalist asked a question about election, when will election be held? He said, what election? Which election? So, as if election meant nothing for him. Then why is that elections are held on local level, zonal level? Because this system perhaps produces best people at the lower level. If the system is introduced at federal level, it can produce good people to lead Eritrea. People who are competent, people who have support of the masses. But that system will never be introduced by the Isaias Afwerki government, PFDJ political party. Secondly, viewers, humanitarian disaster is expanding and engulfing the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Billions of bears are needed now to rebuild this region, to facilitate the return of IDPs, to rebuild the houses devastated. Amhara regional government shared details of the assistance needed yesterday. 102 billion bear are needed for humanitarian assistance in the region. Out of 2 billion, 71 billion should be spent on food assistance. The major chunk of this assistance will be spent on food provision to the people of the. It means that in Amhara region, millions of people are dependent on food aid. USAID has suspended its operations in Ethiopia. Dozens of projects funded by USAID have been suspended. 20 billion will be spent on health sector. If the government receives 1 or 2 billion, 140,000 people have been displaced in the region. Why? Because of the conflict, because of fighting between Fano and the military. 36,000 houses have been destroyed in the region. And one zone suffered the most when it comes to property damage, when it comes to damage to people's houses, infrastructure. Ago Avi zone suffered the most. Why? Because Ago Amhara fighting caused this damage. Ago people raised militias to stop Fano's activities, to stop Fano's expansion into Ago Avi zone. Fano fighters from day one have been trying to penetrate Ago Avi zone. They use this zone to enter Benishangal Gumuz region. This zone is strategic when it comes to move towards Bahirdar from Gujjam. That is why we have been seeing fighting between Fano and Ago militias, Fano and military in Ago Avi zone. This zone has suffered a lot. Now, 102 billion needed. Who will provide this huge amount of money? 102 billion. I mean, Ethiopian government has been relying on foreign aid, USAID. It gave 1.6 billion US dollars to the Ethiopian government in 2024. Now, all this aid suspended. IMF, IMF and World Bank money cannot be used for these humanitarian operations. That money is used generally as a backup. It's used to invest in sectors from where revenue can be generated. If all the IMF and World Bank funded funding is funneled into humanitarian operations, Ethiopia will have nothing to return to IMF and World Bank. Overall, it's a crisis. And the most alarming thing about the conflict in Amhara is that there is no end in sight. While region totally destabilized, uh, and no one knows when the conflict will end. When there is uncertainty, there is no business. When there is uncertainty, there is no investment. No one is going to invest in this region now. In the end, people are suffering. Ethiopian federal government of PM Abiy is not suffering, though the target of Fano is PM Abiy. Fano want to topple PM Abiy's government. They want to remove PM Abiy. Who is suffering? Is federal government suffering? Are people sitting in Addis Ababa suffering? No. People in the Amhara region are the victims of this conflict. Thanks for watching.